All right. So good evening. This is Big Mike the Messenger. I know it's been a while. I haven't been dropping them. I know I said I was gonna start, but I've been going through some family issues. Like I don't have a family of my own, but I started wanting to break these generational curses that's been happening. For most of you who do know, I've been celibate for 9 years, and I began to work on myself and grow myself. But part of that is also making sure that I can stop these generational curses. So this past Monday and Tuesday, I went to go visit my grandmother in Tallahassee. And I told some people, I said, look, I said, my grandmother's, you know, she's on hospice care, so I don't think I'm gonna really get a chance to really build a relationship with her. So the relationship that we have is pretty much gonna be where it's at. And I hope this doesn't sound like it's a bad thing, but relationships require time. It requires effort and it requires a lot of energy. And at this point, I don't know how much longer she has, but hopefully she has more time. And because I've already committed to coming to Tallahassee once a month. So, but the reason why I'm bringing this up to your attention is because I want to talk about generational curses. And I had a chance to talk to my uncle Andy, which is my grandmother's brother, and we've had a conversation about some of the things that some of the old folks didn't care to share. But what they don't know is anytime you have issues in one generation, whatever issues aren't solved in that generation is going to cascade into the next generation. So the next generation will inherit the same problems that came from the generation before if that generation don't take care of it. And I started asking my uncle Andy questions, and and some questions, I knew he didn't really want to answer it because it really wasn't his business to answer, but I felt like I'd give it a try anyway. Um, but I had my auntie Shakita with me, and my auntie Shakita ended up saying, "All right, so Andy, why is it that when we were young, that a lot of the old people didn't care to expose a lot of the issues that we had?" And my uncle Andy simply said, "Because they'll be embarrassed, and their embarrassment really shows a sign of their ego." But what I want to make sure I bring to us is we cannot we cannot heal what's not being revealed. So, because of their ego being so strong and so heavy, it became, I'm starting to look at it as if it's a selfish act to not tell us what you went through or your downfalls or your mistakes, because the generation after, including myself, like right now, I see the trend of how I'm having to deal with issues that my great grandfather created. And because here's the story. So my great grandfather, he was abusive to my grandmother, and my grandmother never really trusted men from that point, except unless they were her brothers. So every relationship that she got into with any male, she had her guard up, and it hindered her relationship with her sons, and it hindered her relationship with me, which is, I'm her grandson. And now she's on hospice care. I got a chance to see how she kind of just released all that pain and all the grudge and all the frustration, and she kind of just accepted. I guess I'm assuming she accepted things for the way they were. But now she begins to show me that she cares. Now, granted, she's not quite sure how long she has to live. But in the same breath, I just feel like it was a learning experience for me, because now I see the importance of how to release pain. Because until she was able to release that pain, it would have been very difficult for her to continuously try to show love to me, because that pain was blocking her from actually being able to love me and her sons. And this was the first time that I've heard her say that she's glad to have all three of her sons, which is my dad and his two uncles, his two brothers, in the same place. So yeah, that's my message for the day. Just let's start working on our generational curses, because as blacks, we definitely have a lot of things that people keep trying to hide, and we need to make sure we reveal these things if we want the next generation after us to survive and thrive, and that way we can start to give them the support that they need, and give them a heads up, because debt just doesn't come in the form of financial. Debt also comes in the form of emotional. It comes in the form of mental debt, psychological debt, and many more, spiritual debt. So for this, I felt like this video was important, because I want to make sure that we understand that we have to get to the bottom of these issues that we have within our families. And if we don't, then how do we expect for the next generation to thrive when they're coming into a level of debt that they have to work themselves out of before they can even heal? And just one more thing before I go. While I've been celibate, I started, I just stopped coming home. I stopped coming to Tallahassee for a while. And it dawned on me that it was subconscious that I stopped coming home because of the fact that I needed to heal. And then I couldn't go into an environment that broke me because my Uncle Andy explained that the generations before us, that our family was dysfunctional from generations. It was like, we're talking 3 and 4 generations of dysfunction. So one generation inherited the next level of one generation inherited the debt of the generation before them, and it keeps cascading. So, this one is really about generational curses. If you got aunties, if you got uncles, if your grandparents are still alive, please have these talks. Let's get through these generational cycles. Let's begin to understand each other. Let's understand that everybody has a story, and their perspective may not be the complete truth, but it'll give you a better understanding of why they feel the way they do and why they hold on to certain things. And let's help each other heal by at least listening. That's my message. I am Big Mike the Messenger. I don't follow standards, we set them. I love you. Once again, we got to start breaking these generational curses, and I'm still going through the process. So typically, probably I know once a month, I'll give you an update on what's going on, new information that I've learned, and new principles that I've learned throughout the process. Love you. Take care. I hope this helps. If this helps, please hit like, hit share, tag family members, tag friends, because this is key. A family is supposed to be the support system of any child to be successful, and if we want our kids to be successful, we have to create the base and the foundation of the support system, which is our family. Thank you, love you, talk to you soon. This is Big Mike the Messenger, and I'll catch you later.